Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, Creating Your Budget, part 5 of our series on building a firm foundation for retirement. Well, welcome everyone to segment 5. And in segment 5, we're going to be talking about lifetime annuities. Could be different forms of it, but lifetime annuities. What are we trying to do? We're trying to build a firm foundation. It seems to me to be antithetical to try to get my bond interest and my stock dividends, which could go up and down, to try to match that to my obligations in retirement on my budget. I have essential, I have discretionary, I need to match up income. Part of that is Social Security, the other part is annuities, lifetime annuities. We'll talk about this and show you why this is so great, and it's a firm foundation, and then we can do other things. I still have money in the market, but I did this first. Now, let's talk about it. Jane Austen, she says from Sense and Sensibility, if you observe, people always live forever when there's an annuity to be paid. Can you imagine a person saying, I'm hanging on because I want to make sure I got my annuity payment? Well, I find that hysterical. But even back in England, having an annuity payment for life was a precious pension. And most people looked at it. Look, when you look at Social Security, fundamentally, it's an annuity. And we've been doing annuity, even pensions, conventional pensions, use the same format. I'm being loose with the translation here, but it's very simple and it's basic. So I'm looking at here, trying to build. I want to be able to build a firm foundation. I'm going to use Social Security, and I'm going to use my lifetime annuity to pay my discretionary and my essential spending. And I'm going to use a little bit of a cost of living rider to be able to make sure that it goes up every year to match up my expenses that'll probably be hit by inflation. Remember, the purchasing power of my dollar is at risk. So I want to be able to take care of that using inflation rider. Annuities are a risk management tool. That's why I use them. I know I have expenses that are fixed, and those expenses, discretionary and essential, I need to match them up with Social Security and an annuity. Those two product lines will give me guaranteed lifetime benefit forever, no matter, even if I became Jean Clement, the Guinness Book of World Records. So I'm looking at this. It's sold by an insurance company. No other manufacturer, no other industry can manufacture annuities like this because they're guaranteed for life. And the third thing is it can generate a guaranteed income for life. So again, if I was to become the Guinness Book of World Records and I lived like Jean Clement did to 122 years, 164 days, that annuity would pay. Think about this. If she actually got an annuity at 79, she was supposed to die at 79. She had an annuity every year past 79. She was taking it to the bank. I can't imagine the internal rate of return on an annuity on a person that lives to 122. I mean, it has to be astronomical. It's designed for any period certain. You may not want to have a life. You just think, hey, I think a 30-year rate is better than what I'm getting on a lifetime rate, and you're pretty sure you have other expenses that'll take care of that later on. You may want to look at a period certain. But for my bang for the buck and the certainty of having guaranteed income I cannot live, I like lifetime. Lifetime income you cannot live. That's the thrill. Social Security is going to be for my life, and that's why I want to maximize it. I want to take the maximum use of Social Security, and my wife having a spousal account. Her spousal account is better than her own standalone Social Security benefit. I want to take Social Security and whatever inflation increase they'll give me over the years. Again, remember the last 7 years, they didn't do it 3 times, so hopefully they'll get better at it. But I want to be able to put a small cost of living rider or cost of living adjustment on my annuity. Now I want to show you something. This is a basic graph of an annuity without its secret sauce, without its alpha, so to speak. This is the return of principal and growth, and any investment can do that. So whether it was a mutual fund, an ETF, or you were buying REITs, all those products can return your principal and whatever earnings or gain on it. But really, when you think about it, only annuities, lifetime annuities, have the longevity credits or mortality credits. Those mortality credits are their secret sauce, or their earning ability, their power to be able to deliver lifetime income you cannot live. Lifetime income annuities generate guaranteed payouts by distributing gains, principal, and longevity credits subsidized by those who die late with the capital of those who die early. So let's just explain it in this way. I have a women's investment club. 5 of them decide to put $100 in and donate that in a box, and they're not going to open it up, let's say for 10 years. So they each put $100 in. And remember, it's not in the market. It's just sitting in a closet, taped up in a box. 10 years later, I have 3 of these gals who are still kicking. And they decide to open up the box and split the contents. They each the 3 survivors get 167% return. And if they amortize this on 10 years period, it's like 6.7%. How did they make 6.7%? It wasn't in the market. It didn't have a CD that was guaranteed through a bond. So the only way they did this was for mortality credits. The people that died subsidized those who live. It's an issue of the law of large numbers. The annuity carriers or the life insurance industry is the only ones that can produce mortality products that have mortality credits. Now remember, we're back to our budget again. I'm going to need to match up my budget, right, with my 2 prime areas, Social Security income and my guaranteed income for life. I'm going to eliminate 33% of my budget day 1 by using HECM. And I'm going to use the cost of living adjustment to take care of inflation, and I'm hoping that the government will give me some kind of bump up in my Social Security as well. Those 2 guaranteed income, I'm going to try to match up to my discretionary spending as well as my essential spending. I'm going to build my retirement budget, and I think you need to be kind of honest about this. I'm going to use HECM to eliminate your mortgage. And remember, some people can eliminate their mortgage and they may also be able to have tax-free income. So not only can I get rid of payments, I might be able to get some income out of this. And for some people that already have no mortgage payment, you could get tax-free income for the rest of your life. And that would be an additional to your Social Security, in addition to the annuity. That would be sweet. That would be the trifecta of having a secure retirement coming in from HECM reverse mortgage, Social Security income, and an annuity that was guaranteed for life. Now, I'm looking at the establishing the Social Security. Again, whoever is the number 1 breadwinner, then I want to look at the spousal benefit. Remember, sometimes because women have been working now for a full generation, the female actual Social Security benefit may be greater than the spousal benefit, but you have to look at this and test it. I had a person that wanted to take hers, it was $13,000, but her spousal benefit with her husband was $20,000. $7,000 a year, that's too much to look at. We went ahead and used the spousal benefit. So we first want to establish our Social Security income, waiting to age 70, using the maximum breadwinner and spousal benefit to give me guaranteed income for life. And by the way, every year I wait till age 70. If there is any cost of living adjustment, that's just getting added to my final actual benefit. So waiting till age 70, huge. Determining my budget gap. Well, now I figured out my budget. Then I figured out how much Social Security will give me. Then I want to be able to look at what's a joint lifetime income. Again, whatever the gap is. So if I have Social Security, I put it up against my discretionary and essential spending, and I have a space or a gap still, I'm going to go ahead and buy a joint income life annuity. Could be a SPIA, a single premium immediate annuity. Could be a DIA, a deferred income annuity. It might even be a income rider, often indexed. But whatever I'm doing, I'm going to figure out which one gives me the most money, and I'm going to take care of my gap so that my annuity and my Social Security completely cover for the rest of my life essential and discretionary spending. Once I match my fixed expenses with fixed income, and I've taken care of my essential discretionary monthly bills, I'm using Social Security and lifetime income, I've built a guaranteed platform, a firm foundation. Now remember, my second phase of mine is taxes, third phase is legacy planning, and fourth phase is asset allocation. So this first phase, though, we have to build a cornerstone, a floor, a firm foundation so that we can move forward. Once you use the combination of Social Security and a lifetime income annuity to match up to your essential spending and your obligations that you have to do, your essential and your discretionary, you can actually have a bit of peace of mind because you're really looking at building a firm foundation for retirement. To me, that is the way that you should look at all your retirement planning. Take care of that first, then you can build upon tax management, then you can build upon legacy planning for your children, your grandchildren, the charity of your choice, or even creating a foundation. And then the fourth is, how am I going to asset allocate monies that I have in the market, and how am I going to treat that after I do a risk tolerance test and I look at my timeline, my expectation for longevity. All these things are great, but I first have to build a firm foundation first, and I'm doing that, figuring out my budget, figuring out what my Social Security benefits are between myself and my wife, and then figuring out an annuity to match any deficit or gap that I have. And that's how we build a firm foundation for retirement. I want to thank you for watching our series on building a firm foundation for retirement. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas you hear on our show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your financial advisor. You've been watching Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game.